John Brown, written by Bob Dylan, which is a part of your ISC syllabus. So it's an anti-war poem, and you have already read After Blenheim, you have read Old Man and the Bridge in your ICC syllabus. So you must be familiar of what is the tone, what is the tenor of an anti-war poem and story. Now, John Brown was written in response to whatever happened during the Vietnam War, written in the year of 1962. So, in this Vietnam War, it's the American troops who actually had to suffer the most. So, the narrative, the emotion in this poem essentially reflects what many American actually felt at that point of time. So it's actually the soldiers who realizes the perils of war, and so it's a very simple poem written to convey the relationship between a mother and a soldier's son. So here Bob Dylan establishes a story. John Brown went off to war to fight on a foreign shore. His mama sure was proud of him. He stood straight and tall in his uniform, and all his mama's face broke out all in a grin. So, as I've told you, it's the story of an American mother who sends her son to war on some foreign land. So, here we find a young man named John Brown, and he is sent to fight to a foreign land, and in this case, the Vietnam War. So, mother here feels very proud that his son is very handsome, and John Brown here stood straight and tall, wearing uniform, and his mother smiled as she uh, bade him farewell. So now John is a very common name, right? So giving such a common name to the protagonist, the poet Bob Dylan wanted to convey that it could be anyone. It could be any brother, it could be any father, any son. Okay, so let's proceed to the next verse. Oh son, you look so fine. I'm glad you are a son of mine. You make me proud to know you hold a gun. Do what the captain says. Lots of medals you will get, and we will put them on the wall when you come home. So second stanza is very significant. So mother seems to be a bit silly here, right? When she says, oh my son, you look so fine, I'm glad you are son of mine. So we see here that serving in armed forces is considered as one of the most dignified noble profession. So mother seems to be very happy here, and she says that her son, and she tells her son to do what his captain will say him. And then she also here says that that his son John Brown will get a lot of medals, and when John Brown will come back home, she will put them on the wall for display. So the mother here feels very proud to be a mother of a soldier, and her son will be holding a and her son will be holding a gun. So gun is here the symbol of authority. Okay. So the third verse, as that old train pulled out, John's ma began to shout, telling everyone in the neighborhood, that's my son, that's about to go. He is a soldier now, you know. She made well sure her neighbors understood. So in the third verse, mother shouts at the top of her voice, and she is saying here that, hey, see, that's my son, he is going to war, he is a soldier now. So she is bragging like anything. She is proclaiming here to the entire neighborhood, and she is boasting and she wants actually everyone in the neighborhood to know that her son has become a soldier. So in the fourth verse, she got a letter once in a while and her face broke into a smile as she showed them to the people from next door, and she bragged about her son with his uniform and gun, and these things you called a good old fashioned war. Oh, good old fashioned war. So in the fourth stanza, we see that she receives a letter now. She receives a letter from John Brown. And so the mother goes to her neighbors to show the letter. And then she brags about the good old fashioned war as if it was just some event. So actually, the mother has no idea about the realities of war, the way the wars are fought around the globe. So elements of boasting is introduced in her character. And we have come across the line, see here, oh, good old fashioned war. So Bob Dylan is making commentary here. Why? Because Bob Dylan is actually astonished that how can the mother even call a war good? So it's good for the mother because the mother feels that war is positive. She is not aware of the havoc. She is not aware of the destruction caused by war. So in the fifth verse, then the letters ceased to come for a long time. They did not come. They ceased to come for about 10 months or more. Then a letter finally came saying, go down and meet the train. Your sons are coming home from the war. So in the fifth verse, we come to know that for 10 months, no letter. Then suddenly, one day, one letter comes. And the letter did not come from John Brown. The letter came from some third party. The third party is here informing the mother that go and meet your son. Your son is coming by train. And the mother seems to be very, very excited. She smiled. She's very happy. She's very excited here. She smiled and went right down. She looked everywhere around, but she could not see her soldier's son in sight. But as all the people passed, she saw her son at last. When she did, she could hardly believe her eyes. So in the sixth verse, she goes to the station and she was looking around everywhere. She was expecting her handsome son. She was expecting to see a refined soldier. So when finally she sees her son John Brown, she could not believe her eyes. Oh my God, who is this? Because John Brown is in pathetic condition. So this part of the poem is in sharp contrast to the exuberance and the emotion in the first part of the poem. So the first part was all about her pride, and the second part is about remorse, the sadness she feels when she sees her son in such a pitiable condition. Oh, his face was all shut up and his hand was blown off, and he wore a metal brace round his waist. He whispered kind of slow, in a voice she did not know, while she couldn't even recognize his face. So it's a description of John Brown's state after he returns home to his mother from war. So explosion must have taken very close to him, and his face has become so mutilated and ugly that mother could not recognize her own son. Then his hands blown off, and he wears a metal brace around his waist to support himself. So this suggests his pain and his horrific experience in war. So here the focus is on the evils of war. And see the irony, the poet here introduced. She was expecting medals, right? And see what she finds. Oh Lord, not even recognize his face. So emphasizing the fact that mother could not recognize her son, and a sharp contrast to the first stanza again. Oh, tell me, my darling son, pray tell me what they've done. How is it you come to me this way? He tried his best to talk, but his mouth could hardly move, and the mother had to turn her face away. So, mother is shattered now. She is in utter disbelief after seeing the state in which her son has returned. So, John Brown's mouth could hardly move. He tried to talk and answer to his mother about what all he has been through, but could not. And her mother also could not bear to look at her son's distress and pain. And so, what she does here, she turns her head away. Don't you remember, Ma, when I went off to war? You thought it was the best thing I could do. I was on the battleground, you were home acting proud. You wasn't there standing in my shoes. So John Brown here says that, Ma, have you forgotten? You thought joining the army was the best thing I could do. And she was safe at home, enjoying. But little did she realize how different was the situation with John Brown. So unless you take part in war, no one will understand how horrible war is. And we also come across the line, you wasn't there standing in my shoes. So the line here is a sharp commentary, because there are other ways of waging war, right? But these warmongers are doing so to meet their own self-interest. So this line is actually a slap to all the warmongers who, sitting in air-conditioned rooms, says that let's wage war against Pakistan, let's wage war against China, against Bangladesh, without thinking emotionally for the soldiers who bear so much pain for us. Oh, and I thought when I was there, God, what am I doing here? I am trying to kill somebody or die trying, but the thing that scared me most was when my enemy came close and I saw that his face looked just like mine. So on the 10th verse, we see that John Brown is sharing his experience because he realized that he is here to kill. And so he's not proud of what he's doing. He realized that he was just trying to kill somebody in a do or die situation just because he was born in X country and John Brown in Y country, and he also realized that they were all like him. So it was a realization that war is destructive. And see the expression here, but the thing that scared me most. So the expression scared me the most is ironic and delivers a stern message regarding the reality of war. So John Brown here thinks that what on earth am I doing here? I am here to kill someone, I am here to kill some human being. And I couldn't help but think, through the thunder rolling and sting, that I was just a puppet in a play, and through the roar and smoke this string is finally broke, and a cannonball blew my eyes away. So John Brown here narrates, he realized that he was just a puppet, and he could not stop thinking that he was a puppet in the hands of the warmongers. And he realized that he was controlled by someone powerful. And as he was contemplating all this, a cannonball came and took away his sight. So how pathetic. Physically he is alive, but emotionally shattered. As he turned away to walk, his mom was still in shock at seeing the metal brace that helped him stand. But as he turned to go, he called his mother close and he dropped his medals down into her hand. So John Brown doesn't want to look at his mother, and his mother is also in great shock. So John Brown here realizes that now he should give her the medals. So John Brown now drops the medals in his mother's hand, and the son has come back with medals. Yes, we can see that, but which are of no use now. So the absolute futility of war is depicted here. So the medal is now worthless for her because her son is going to be bedridden forever. So the irony of the poem here is the poem begins with a positive note, right? But when John Brown returns from war, he hands over the medals to his mother, but his condition is pathetic. So the medal was supposed to bring joy, supposed to bring pride, but only served to leave her mother in shock. So what do we learn from this poem? That wars do not win anything for you in real sense. War does not yield anything positive. You remember the poem After Blenheim, which you have read in your ICSE, where we have come across that thousands of skulls found an old grandfather, that is Caspar, kept on saying that these things are common in every victory without realizing how harmful war is. So what we see here is basically the poet wants to convey that he disapproves war and he wants to awaken the common people against the propaganda of war. Okay, so I hope this poem is clear. So you must prepare John Brown an anti-war poem and the theme as well, that is how human life is affected badly due to war. Okay, so thank you, have a great day.